Hi everyone! Today I brought to you a Pilates class that is intermediate level and suitable for everyone. You don't need any equipment at all, just your mat and yourself, and I hope you enjoy it. So we begin with the feet underneath the hips. They are straight, toes lengthening out and heels pointing to the back. Body weight settled over the middle of the foot with the arches lifting actively. Knees are bent. Hips stacked over the knees and ankles, gently tucked under so that we've got the glutes engaged. And then abdominal muscles pulled in, hip bones closing in towards an imaginary line. Rib cage expanding and contracting with our breaths. Shoulders settled down and away from the ears, arms heavy by the sides of the body. The eye gaze is lifted onto the horizon so that the back of the neck is quite long. And if you can close your eyes, just take a few breaths to really settle into this position. Really focusing on breathing into the ribs rather than into the abs. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Feel your body weight coming down evenly through both of your legs. Gently shifting it forwards and then shifting it back. As we shift forwards, the front wall of the body starts engaging a bit more. As we shift back, the same happens at the back of the body on the posterior chain. We notice the toes start gripping a bit more, and then the heels, the glutes, the hamstrings. So let's just settle into that weight again, making these shifts smaller and smaller until you arrive in the middle, until you're able to lift through the arches and lift through your inner legs into the pelvic floor and into the center of your core. Let's circle the head gently, taking whichever direction we want to take first. Exhale towards the bottom, then inhale towards the top. Just let the head drop heavily towards the chest and ever so slightly lifting up just a few degrees above the horizon so we avoid creasing the back of the neck. Changing direction after a few repetitions. Feel the stretch down the back of the neck, into the shoulders, into the upper back. And once you're in the center, just roll yourself back up so the crown of the head is high. The whole body is tall, feeling the lift from the floor to the crown. Circling through the shoulders, taking one direction, whichever your preference is. Making sure that the shoulders move separately, away from the rib cage. The center of the body, the midline of the body is settled, stable. After a few reps, you might find that your range of movement increases. As long as it feels right, you can go a little bit bigger. Let's change direction. Inhale up, exhale down. Now we can make the movement a little bit bigger, full arm circles. The arms don't need to be straight, reaching far back and then lifting over the head, palms open, fingers spread. Other way, full range of movement without compromising the posture in the rest of the body. One more circle on the way. And then lift arms to shoulder height, rotating side to side, like a bow and arrow. Pulling on that string really tight, pulling the shoulder blade in towards the spine. Exhale to squeeze, and inhale to return. And we try to mobilize our spine. So to switch off the legs and switch off the hips, we want our roots to be released into the ground. Hips staying facing the front, wide from the navel, from the chest, from the shoulders. We're revolving. Again, keeping in mind, this is about warming up. This is about gentle movement rather than forcing it on the body. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Last time. Side bending, left hand behind the head. C shaping, curving the spine, letting the arm hang heavily by the side of the body. Inhale to the top. All the time we're lifting through the spine and lifting through the crown back to the center line. Exhale to curve. Inhale to lift. Take your time with these moves. Always connect with your breath. And as you exhale, feel the exhalation time with the whole of the movement. So exhale all the way to the bottom. Then inhale all the way to the top. Always finding our starting point. One more time, then changing sides. So as you come up, just switch arms. Take a breath and exhale to explore that range on the other side of the body. Let your mobility improve on its own. Don't think too much about it. Just do what feels right. Keeping things light for now. Really tune into your breath instead. Noticing the rib cage expanding sideways. Feeling the tummy muscles holding in. Last one. Roll down. So I'd like to avoid falling forwards in these ones. Hence, we're going to keep the feet under the sit bones, which is about a fist distance away. Body weight centered over the middle of the foot. Tailbone gently tugged. And then looking to the horizon, taking a breath. And as we exhale, chin drops towards the chest. Head hangs. But we keep moving, rolling the shoulders as well, letting gravity pull the arms lower and lower, So we can round the upper spine and round the mid spine, but leaving the rest of the body intact. So quads are still pulling up, kneecaps lifting up, hips not creasing, and noticing a gentle stretch through the mid-back. Inhale, exhale, lifting back up, one vertebrae at a time. Taking all the time we need. Once at the top, inhale, and exhale to try again. Normal breath the rest of the way. Once you can't go any longer, return to your standing position. Last time, breathing in and out, tracing a straight line down towards the navel with the tip of our chin going lower and lower with the half of your own body weight. Coming back up when you're ready. Hands on your thighs, posture re-engaged. Inhale, squatting back, so bending through the hips and bending through the knees. Exhale, standing tall. Inhale, sitting down again. Deep knee bend to really warm those major joints. And exhale to stand up and coming away from the ground. So coming side on, tailbone opened towards the back, neutral spine engaged. Exhale, squeezing low body and core muscles. Inhale, tracing the hands lightly down the thighs and back up towards the hips. Two more times. Hands to the hips, lifting up through both of the heels and back down through both of them. So exhale to squeeze the calves and inhale to return to the floor. Finding balance, finding a lot more stability. You can hold on to the wall or anything that you need to, or you can just go one heel at a time, like you would to march on the spot. Really training through the arches of the feet, the tiny little stabilizer muscles of the feet. And the last one coming. It's time to begin our exercises. So we're heading down to the floor to all fours position. Our first exercise is a pointer. So box position with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Applying that neutral spine again with the navel pulling in towards the spine, both of the hips in towards the center and shoulders cut away from the ears. pointer is always a little bit about coordination, so opposite arm and leg moving together. If I start with my back arm and the front leg, they lift up to the line of the body, so biceps towards the ears and leg long, no higher than your hips, and back down to the ground. We're staying on this leg for 10 repetitions. So exhale and lift, thumb up towards the ceiling to keep the arm active, and inhale to return down to the ground. Exhale, going long. Inhale, resetting. So we're keeping the hips and the shoulders squared off to the ground the entire time. And as the limbs lift, we're squeezing diagonally across the back of the body, shoulder, mid-back, glutes, as well as the hamstrings. Placing very minimal amount of weight on the hand and on the knee as we return to the floor. Last two coming. Changing arm to leg, transferring the weight, continuing with an exhalation and inhalation. So the angle of the body is unchanged. So we've got the whole underside of the body pulling in and up, allowing the spine to be cushioned from underneath, and allowing us, the spine, to stay as unmoving, as strong as possible. So feel the squeeze down the back, feel the lift through the front, and that will help you to keep your body in the position it needs to be. One more time. And release. Knees come back underneath the hips. Next exercise is our push-up. So the hands will go wider than the shoulders. For some of us it might be just the edges of the mat. For others it might be wider than the mat. So we're training the chest. Easiest alternative here is to keep the knees where they are, underneath the hips. A little bit harder is to move the knees back to 3/4 of the way and shifting the weight over the hands. So to train the chest in our push-up, the elbows will go wide. Inhale towards the ground. Exhale back up. Inhale so the chest can open. Exhale to push the floor away. If you need to modify halfway through, just move your knees about. You might be able to do the whole thing on your toes, depending on your strength level. So we're corkscrewing the hands into the floor and feeling the squeeze of the arms, of the sides of the chest, all the way to the top. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale fully. Last time. Now sit back into child's pose, taking the knees as wide as you want them to be, so it's comfortable. And relax the head down and allow the arms to sweep past your body, palms facing up. Shoulders switched off. Spend as long as you need to here. Once you're ready to return, all fours again. We're mobilizing the spine, rotating it. So the leg that's closest to the back straightens out, toes are tugged, heel pushes away. Glutes are engaged, squeezing, adding an element of balance to make our exercise a little bit harder. So essentially threading the needle, breathing in, rotating through the waistline and the chest. Exhale, threading the arm under, all the way across the body. Inhale, elbow high towards the ceiling, shoulder blades approaching each other. Exhale, shoulder blades sliding away from each other. Inhale, exhale. Breathing wide into the ribs. Exhale, let it all go. One more time. And come back in. Changing legs. Digging the foot in. It helps us to really stabilize the hips. So we're definitely twisting from the waistline and higher up on the body. So inhale. Fingers to the temples. Exhale. Arm threads. Palm is up. Open up. Really slowing the movement down. Let it be in sync with your breath. Let it leave enough time for your mind to connect to your working muscles. So we truly benefit from it, from moving this way. Hand underneath shoulder, knees underneath the hips. Again, staying with a whole body approach, but working a bit more with the shoulders. We're going to take up a position of downward dog. From downward dog, we are bending both of the knees quite deeply to approach the ground into crouch position, and then we push back up into straight legs. So feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Your knees can be soft here in order to really lift the tailbone to the sky. We should feel a nice gentle stretch down the backs of the legs and a lot of strength in the arms and the shoulders as we press our bellies towards the thighs. Let's begin. 10 repetitions. Coming down with the knees towards the mat, but not touching. And then pushing back up, exhalation. Breathing in to bend. Breathing out to drive back into the legs. Hands under your shoulders. And hands in front of the shoulders. Let the head be heavy here. It just follows the movement of the rest of your body. Holding those abdominal muscles nice and tight. One more. All the way as low as you can go. Pushing back up into the stretch, holding that stretch, adjusting the leg stance if needed. And then walking through each of the legs, enhancing the stretch and reducing it on the other leg. Straighten both of the legs and then come down to the ground, resting back in child's pose. So big toes towards each other, knees as wide as you can, as you need to, and settle in a comfortable position for you. Moving on to the side of the body. So lay down, facing the screen. You would want to have your body parallel to the edge of your mat, the line of your mat, so knees, hips and shoulders, as well as the elbow in one imaginary straight line. We can start with the knees bent and hands on the hips. So side plank, we're going to lift and lower to really warm up and then begin the hard exercise straight after. So 90-degree angle at the elbow joint, palm is down. Shoulders stacked so the body does not collapse forwards or back. So we can really focus on pulling up through the obliques, the waistline, as well as pulling up through the hips. So the body is straightened on the exhalation. Inhale back to the ground. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. We'd like to watch out for the elbow position, so it always needs to be underneath the shoulders to avoid the shoulder joint collapsing in and becoming in a weakened position. Two more. So let's lay down, giving the shoulder a little break. The arm can go straight and the palm is up, or just tuck your arm underneath your head so you've got the cushioning. Straighten your legs. Maintain that stacked position so all of the joints aligned. One hand in front of you, it is light. So we're not pressing it into the ground. We don't let the arm take over from our core. Waistline elevated. Belt tightened around the waist. Both of the legs lifting and lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. So this is one of those exercises where it might seem very easy, but it is very easy if the waistline completely switches off. So we can lift the legs way higher if we let go through the core, but if we hold strong, there is only so much we can lift. So exhale, maintaining the gap, even if it's just a credit card width, maintaining that gap between you, your waist, and the ground throughout. So zipping up through those legs, inner legs, pelvic floor engaged. Inhale here, exhale here. One more time. Then release. So you're going to get back up again into that side plank position, but this time we have the top leg straight. So elbow, shoulder, hips, and your bottom knee, one straight line. Pointing the toe away, we're doing a rainbow. So it means the limbs, top side limbs will be moving together. Exhalation, arm overhead. Inhalation, arm by your side. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, back down. So the leg lifts, and we are keeping both of the hips facing the front. Bottom side of the hip would like to really drop down towards the ground, giving into gravity, but we're holding strong. We're keeping everything elevated. Two more to go. Last one. Then take a seat, bending your legs, mermaid stretch. So we worked through the right side of the body, then we're going to stretch the right side of the body in a C shape, letting everything go and breathing in our own rhythm. And what we do on one side, we do it on the other as well. So let's roll over. Back to the activation exercise. Remember that one was both legs bent, thighs zipped up, strong squeeze right there. And then toes pointing to the back, palm facing down. Side plank lifting and lowering. Exhale to the top. Inhale to the mat. If you find that you would like to do more, you're more than welcome to lift your arm high and notice the movement through the waistline. Pulling up and contracting through the bottom end, and then letting it gently stretch. Feel the pressure going underneath your forearm, but try and keep the pressure mostly in your midsection. So shoulders staying away from the ear helps you to achieve that. One more time. Let's lay down. So arm either long, tugged under the head, other one in front of you, and then legs stay nice and long. It doesn't matter if you point your toes or flex your foot. Exhale, lifting both of the legs. Inhale and lowering. Your hand in front of you is there. so that you can give yourself a check, a mental and physical check. If your hand, if your thumbs, if your fingertips turn white or halfway there, chances are you're using your arm too much to do this move. So that's when you need to refocus to your side body, your inner legs, and your glutes doing the job for you. And it definitely will be harder, but it's worth doing it right. Think about breathing underneath the waist. Exhale to the top. Inhale back to the mat. Still breathing into the rib cage, which is why we're able to maintain that arc underneath the body the very last time. And release. So back into our side plank. Down on the elbow. Straightening the body completely. The rainbow. Toes aren't tapped. Exhale to lift. Inhale back down. Exhale, arm and leg together. Inhale down. Nothing else in the body moves. Feel your hips taking charge. Exhale. Inhale. Feel that large space you're filling with your arm movement. Feel your long leg reaching out of your hip. Feel the effort in your body. If you need to lower the intensity for the last 2 reps, just drop your hip down and keep your waist elevated. 1 more to go. And slowly come back. Tuck your feet in, lift up, and stretch. So after all of that shoulder work and a lot of core work, we're going to lay down on our backs. So we got our shoulder bridge. Once you're down on your back, feet face distance apart, so that is the width of your sit bones. Quite close to your bum, arms down by your sides, triceps engaged. So you're pressing them into the floor. First off, let's try and slide a hand in underneath the lower back. Some of us might be able to, some of us might not. But let's just find a neutral spine as best as we can. Exhale to flatten the back completely. Inhale to release it. Exhale to flatten. Feel your lower spine moving without your bum clenching whatsoever. Just exhale and then inhale. And on your next breath, we peel the spine clear off the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. lifting up into bridge position, arriving up onto the tops of the shoulders, into the upper back, so we don't tense the neck at all. Same way we came up, we roll back down with the exhalation, placing one vertebrae at a time back down. Inhale at the bottom, you're in neutral. Exhale, flattening. Keep breathing out, keep lifting, keep isolating. Inhalation at the top, so shoulders down, chest wide open, and reverse. Squeezing shoulders down, feel the strength in your back, squeezing the bum at the top, and then control your move, just like you controlled it to the top. So once you're at the top, try not to hang out there for too long. Just squeeze your bum rather than pushing your hips high up. You should feel a gentle enough stretch down through the hip flexors and down into your quads. So you feel like your knees are lengthening away from your hips. Knees and ankles staying the same distance throughout. We're going up there one more time. Neutral, in breath, out breath, flattening and curving. Hold, re-engage your arms like you were to reach down to your heels. One heel up, then switch. Just like in the warm-up, transferring weight, but hips completely unmoving. So they're not going up, they're not going down whatsoever. It's the calves, the ankles doing the job for you. Plenty of breath here to keep the body moving. Try not to turn your head. Keep your breaths in the rib cage, so you're able to maintain strong mid and low body position. Heels come down, body rolls down. Hug your knees into your chest to relax the glutes. Rocking from side to side if it feels good at all. Or you might want to try a long body stretch, just legs long and arms long. A feel good stretch. Something similar to what we do in the morning right after waking up in the bed. So now that we've finished with the main exercises, it is time to stretch, to really relax the body after all of that hard work. Staying on our backs to begin, feet on the ground. Hamstring stretch that will help us to also lengthen out through the glutes. So one leg goes up to the ceiling or sky, depending on where you are. Keeping the leg as straight as possible, Toes don't need to be pointed, just do what feels best, and holding the leg below or above the knee joint. We just would like to encourage the leg to remain straight, and if we hold it right behind the knee, we tend to bend it and then lose most of the stretch from the muscle. Breathing in your own rhythm. Try and flex your foot now, pushing the heel up to the ceiling, bringing a stretch into our calf as well. Shoulders relaxed, head relaxed down on the floor. Moving into a figure four stretch for our glutes, so the ankle crosses over the knee of the other leg, and then knee gently presses away. If you can't feel the stretch through the glutes on that side, you might want to lift your supporting leg, thread your arms through behind it, and start pulling it in towards your torso. Make sure that your stretch is only mild to moderate in intensity. You never want to press too far. Just make sure things are relaxing. And then switch sides. So going back to that hamstring stretch with the foot relaxed. Allowing the hip to be heavy, to fall back on the ground. Allowing the shoulders to stay heavy. And just guiding the leg in. Take a few moments to really check in with your body and your breath, to see how everything feels. Then let's flex that foot, enhancing the stretch out through the calf, which feels definitely good after all those heel lifts in our last exercise. Figure four, crossing ankle over the knee. First off, trying rotating the knee away from the body. If that doesn't work, try your other leg and guide it in towards you. Release it. So roll yourself over, hands and knees. Spinal movement, cat into cow. So moving through the legs from tail end to top end, nice and slow and easy. Dipping into the spine, hollowing into the tummy. Focusing onto our movement and keeping our vertebrae separate but moving as one unit. Chest lifts, try not to jam your head up, just look a meter in front of your mat, that will do. Focus on the chest lifting. So your upper spine, your mid spine goes into extension rather than your neck. One more time. Thread your back arm under, palm is up, shoulder lays down, head lays down. Gentle twist as well as a shoulder stretch. Your other hand, palm on the ground, spread your fingers, and if you push into the ground, your twist deepens. So just go until your range allows you to go and you feel fine with it, your breaths feel fine with it. Otherwise, just chill, just be heavy, trust gravity to help you out. On your next exhalation, bring your arm out. We're going to do that on the other side, so don't move. Just inhale and exhale. Thread your front arm under, reaching out towards the back. Palm lays open, facing up. Other hand supports you, guides you deeper into the stretch if you need to. And get back in touch with yourself. How does this feel? How does your breath feel? How is your spine right now? Thread your arm now. Kneeling lunge, front leg out. Let your hips drop. Foot lunges outside the hand, but the knee stays close to your arm. Feel the stretch out through your hip flexor, radiating down towards your back knee. And to enhance it, tuck your toes and lift yourself up. Knee lift, squeeze to your inner thighs and drive the heel away. Inhale to return to the ground. Exhale, drive away. Inhale, back in. Nice and long line from crown of the head out through the heel and back down. Knee drops, switch legs. So foot lunges outside the hand. Relax. Keep the knee close. And just wait. Wait for your body to respond. To make sure it feels right, we are in the right spot for our stretch. Then, toes go under. Exhale, push. Inhale, release. Some more length, more stretch down through the hip, into the thigh. Let's keep those hips facing the ground throughout. We've got one more to go. And step back into up stretch. Walking through the legs. Walking, feet in, folding forwards, head hangs upside down, let your arms go, let your shoulders go. Hands on your shins, straightening the legs, straightening the spine into flat back, eye gaze remaining on the floor. Lifting up through the sit bones so we feel the long hamstrings, the long back. And then finally, bend and roll yourself up to standing. That concludes our Pilates class for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, you can leave it as comments below. And hopefully see you next time.